This is a spoiler-free guide for MegaMan Battle Network 4. During the last tournament, there's a chance one of your opponents will be ColdMan. When you're paired up against him, you'll have to go to his operator's home in Sharo to stop the weird weather happening near the tournament site. To do this, you'll need to get 4 fire-type battle chips in specific codes to help heat up the area. While you aren't told the chips' names directly, you're given a few hints. The most well-known one is Lava Panel. While Lava Stage was a battle chip in Battle Network 2 and 3, it's not in Battle Network 4, which makes the hint somewhat misleading for those who've played the first few games. The good news is that this is the easiest chip to get out of the 4. The bad news is that the others might be more elusive depending on how far you are in the game. The Lava Panel hint is referring to Heat Breath K, which attacks the panels in front of you and leaves lava in its path. This battle chip can be bought in Netopia area on the net for only 500 Zenny. While the other items in the shop can only be bought a certain number of times, this battle chip can be obtained an infinite number of times, meaning you'll never need to worry about running out of it. The other battle chips have more obvious hints, but their battle chips can be harder to find due to the way the game is structured. This is the case for Heat Shot C and Flame Line 1F. Before we talk about where these chips are, we have to talk about how Battle Network 4 works, since that can drastically affect their location. After you beat each game, you have the option to start the game again in New Game Plus, which is typically called Hard Mode or Playthrough 2. Once you beat that playthrough, you can do this again to enter Super Hard Mode, also known as Playthrough 3. And once you've beaten Super Hard Mode, you can restart again as many times as you want. The game will start at Playthrough 4, but you'll essentially begin at Super Hard Mode once more. You can do this as often as you like, but you only need to do it 3 times to 100% the game. Now, you might be wondering, what does New Game Plus have to do with these battle chips? The answer is everything. The reason is, when you start your second playthrough, all of the viruses on the main internet get upgraded. As a result, all of the battle chips they drop also get upgraded to match. In simple terms, when you start New Game Plus, you lose easy access to Heat Shot C and Flame Line 1F. If this is your first playthrough, I highly suggest going to town and ACDC areas and fighting those enemies that drop them, so you have a solid collection of each chip. If this isn't your first playthrough, you'll have to do a little more hunting. You technically did get a free copy of them when you obtained your second folder, but if you've already used them for this scenario before, you might not have another copy. So here's a handful of ways to get even more of them, even if your viruses are already upgraded. The first is through Higsby's chip order. Go to Higsby's shop and talk to him to open this list. You'll be able to buy a copy of every battle chip you have in your library, but only in one specific code, and only once. Thankfully, the chip order codes for Heat Shot and Flame Line 1 are the ones you need to complete this puzzle. The next way is through virus battles. Although the main internet's viruses were upgraded, most other locations aren't. So areas where you can find Spiky, Volgears, and their EX counterparts include the food stand by the Den Dome, the vending machine inside the Den Dome, the ticket stand at the amusement park, and the microwave where you did the tutorial battles. This process will go a lot faster if you have a lock enemy subchip, the Oil Body Navi Customizer program, and the Collect Navi Customizer program. These 3 items aren't necessary, since the viruses you need to find are fairly common in their respective computers, but it can definitely speed things up. Please note that if you're playing Red Sun, you'll want to get a busting rank between 7 and 10 when you're fighting the Volgear. If you get S, you'll end up with Flame Line 1H instead. Blue Moon players can still obtain it with a rank between 9 and S. And against Spikies, both versions are guaranteed a Heat Shot C by S ranking it. And now for the final battle chip, Black Bomb Z. You can get one through a purple mystery data located in the top left side of Sharo's internet. And you can easily access Sharo's internet by connecting to the internet inside the building near the puzzles. It's located behind a gate where you need to spend 500 Zenny to get through, and you'll need an unlocker on hand to actually obtain it. For repeated copies, there's 2 ways to get it. Once again, you can obtain a single copy through Higsby's chip order. After that, you can actually get more from Purple Mystery Data in the exact same spot as the first one. You're able to do this because of the same quirk that upgrades the viruses in New Game Plus. When you begin a new playthrough, the game also checks every blue and purple mystery data location. If you've already taken it, then a new one will replace it. Most of them get replaced with entirely new items, but this specific spot in Sharo area will always be a purple mystery data that gives Black Bomb Z. If you plan to use this chip in your folder, it's worth picking it up in every playthrough to ensure you always have an extra one to give towards the scenario.